Hey guys, CentreplexHD here, and I'm bringing you some news that's happened recently. The game WarZ has been taken off sale on Steam due to what is believed to be by many as false advertising. Like Hammerpoint Interactive have been talking up their game they've recently released. So here you can see there's a few things that they've been trying to talk up. A huge persistent world. The WarZ is an open world game. Well, to start off with, they said that their game was open world about 100 square kilometers to 400 square kilometers. That is actually false. The game is only 72 square kilometers.
It's supposed to be around 72 square kilometers. I didn't think it originally it was they advertised it as 400 square kilometers, but they've changed the description I think 3 times now on Steam.
Yep. Another thing that strikes me is the two modes of play, normal and hardcore. There's no hardcore mode, which is understandable as this game is pretty much an alpha, which should not have been released as a full game. 40 to 100 players per server. They have not changed that. The maximum is only 50.
Well, apparently so it's supposed to only be 50 players is the maximum, but it could be wrong once they actually re-release the game.
They put about the game, no classes, no levels, no caps. Create your own survival campaign. Well, thing with that is that there's none of those already, so I don't know why they even included that in the description.
Also saying that there's private servers, there also is none of them. They're just all public.
They've gotten rid of the private server thing.
Well, there wasn't even private servers to begin with. There was just public servers, which are, I suppose, whoever was supposed to be hosting them, like, you could never host your own game.
Yep, and as you can see, well, from what I've heard is the game uses microtransactions, which was a big no in my opinion.
I reckon microtransactions can sort of ruin it for the fact that a lot of people just play the game and just buy all the guns or whatever that they want straight up, so there's really no point of playing.
I was watching gameplays of it, like to get a better understanding of this, and from what I've seen, you can't buy guns. You can buy melee weapons, but as soon as you die from like being hit by a zombie 3 times or something, you pretty much lose that thing and you have to buy it again with microtransactions. Not to mention the fact that they have a 1 hour cooldown of every time you die, so you can automatically pay real world money to spawn instantly.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's a 1 hour to 4 hour wait.
To an extent, that's, I suppose it could be alright, but I still reckon it's sort of a bad idea because it also enforces that idea of pay to win.
Pay to win, you don't want that in any games.
Not really. I think the only one that does it successfully is Team Fortress 2, and that's where it should really only stay at.
Yeah. And another thing for me is just how this game came out of nowhere. Like as soon as the big success of DayZ, pretty much plenty of other people have come forward and bloody made these games. When you've got this company that comes forward and says that they've had this in production for ages, when this can pretty much be seen as a cheap rip-off.
Yeah, it could be, they're just saying, we already had this in production before DayZ, but they really had no proof about it.
Yeah, it can be seen as a quick money-making scheme.
Yeah, so people sort of like, well, they would be more like, oh yeah, come buy our game. Ours is supposed to be like the original idea thing, but it was pretty much clear you could tell that on the scale of, I suppose, how bad it is, to be honest, it'll be worse than DayZ.
Yeah.
And
Another
especially the things that they're trying to do with the people who already own the game, changing the terms and conditions so they can't get a refund for the broken game, then a lot of people will probably stick right away from WarZ and just stay with DayZ.
Yeah, DayZ is a free game as well until the standalone, as well
Yeah, is
as
it still staying free if you have Arma 2, or will you have to buy it once they fully complete it?
once they've fully got the standalone out, you'll purchase it for a small amount from what I've heard, and as updates come out for it, the price will go up on the people that haven't already bought it. So it's kind of going to be like a
Yeah,
Minecraft sort of thing.
I suppose it depends. Really, they might just have a set price across the board, even once the game is fully completed, instead of just having like, oh yeah, the game's in beta or whatever, you can buy it for a smaller price. But apart from that, the game, seeming as the executive producer is also the creator of Big Rigs, I think his input won't really help the decisions of the game,
Yep.
because we know how good Big Rigs is.
Big Rigs was a great game.
Oh, mate, it was fantastic.
Another thing, been, if any of you have felt disadvantaged by this game with your purchase, I've heard that Steam is actually handing out refunds to people that are actually disappointed with the game. So
You're going to have a bad time if you didn't buy it on Steam. I think that's really the only way you can buy it, though. But Hammer Point Interactive refused to give out refunds to people who have bought it. That's why they changed their terms and conditions. So you'd have to, if you already own the game, you have to agree to the new ones that you can't get a refund on the game.
yep, it's
I honestly,
ridiculous.
I honestly think the main point of that is so, seeming as since we've done this, it might hugely affect sales. It's that we don't want to give out refunds so we lose even more money.
Yep. Well, if any of you have found this video insightful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. It's one click. And give us suggestions on what we should talk about next. See you all later.